Welcome to a Trucker's Mind podcast. I'm Eddie McGee.
It's your boy K Things.
And we are back, man. Episode 364.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it. Stephen A. Smith, LeBron James. Let's talk about it. Recently, LeBron James approached Stephen A. Smith during the third quarter of a game. The game was still in progress, and it seems that it went viral. Mm-hmm. He approached Stephen A. Smith, and lip readers showed him basically saying, hey, keep my fucking son out of this shit, bro. Mm-hmm. And then LeBron storms off after he told Stephen A. that. Stephen A. seems like he didn't have a whole lot to say at that moment. Mm-hmm. But the internet was talking. There were mixed reviews. There were people saying like, see, that's what Stephen A. get for running his mouth. LeBron had to pull up on him like a real man and all of this stuff. And I'm going to give you my personal take. I think LeBron fucked up. And here's why. LeBron fucked up by approaching Stephen A. Smith because no one is above reproach, including your son. You can't save your son. In fact, nepotism got him on the Lakers. That is not an opinion. That is a fact. There are players on his own team at USC that were better than him that did not get drafted, right? On top of that, I think that his stats have not been great at all. He's got 0.00 points and 0. This and that. Bronny had a little flash where he's playing decent, but he's just been downhill lately. And Stephen A. mentioned it. And you can't tell somebody what they shouldn't talk about. Your son is a professional athlete. He's not just your son. Mm-hmm. I think that also, too, LeBron fucked up because you gave him a story. I think in some way, Stephen A. Smith loves attention. He acts like he doesn't. You know, I didn't really want to talk about this. You know, but they made me talk about it because it went viral. But I'm here to tell you, I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I don't run from nothing. It's like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know you wanted to talk about this shit, nigga. Okay? Well, anyways, when he talked about it, he says, I didn't get the sense that LeBron, the basketball player, was approaching me. It was LeBron James, the father. That's the person that was approaching me. And I completely understand. And then when he talked about it on the Stephen A. Smith show on his YouTube channel, he says, everybody talking about I'm looking sad. Yeah, you damn right I'm sad. I'm sad because I'm right. Yes. That's what he said, bro. I swear to God. You know what, though? With LeBron, I think it was extremely emotional what he did. It really was. Sure, yeah. I think that's his son. I understand, but you got to understand, not only is it your son, that's a grown man. And you made it worse for your son because you're coming to his defense. As a father or as a role model, you have to understand that the young men that you raise or whatever, they need to have adversity. In order to be a man, you have to overcome adversity. That's how it works. Mm-hmm. LeBron James, you had all these things you said about your son. You spoke about him in high regard, which I understand. But in some cases, you got to learn to shut the fuck up and let the product put in the work. Because here's the problem. Even with regular people, when you speak things out into the world, you give everybody an expectation. Everybody's waiting for the expectation, right? You got to just let things happen. You can't just be talking about them. And he said something like, didn't he say his son was like a Hall of Famer or some shit like that too?
Yeah. Let me see. Yes. I just showed it right here. I was looking for it while you was actually,
okay.
Ironically, you said that. It says, let me see. I think it was an Instagram post. Mm-hmm. I think, let's see. Hold on. I think I just wanted to make sure this is the headline and it has the quotes around it. So I'm pretty sure this. Okay. I don't know if it was like an Instagram post, Twitter post, or what, but I remember seeing it. But it says right here, y'all quick to judge my boy Bronny. Future HOF, no doubt. Future Hall of Famer is, the acronym.
It's like where LeBron's fucking up is LeBron. He overcame he lived up to. He didn't have to overcome anything. He just had to live up. Mm-hmm. But he actually exceeded the expectations of being, the first overall draft pick coming out of high school. Mm-hmm. But to call your son a Hall of Famer when he was not the best player on his team at USC, it's misguided. Mm-hmm. It's misguided. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just the truth. And my thing is this: even if I'm a Hall of Famer myself, I can objectively look at people in my family, even if I had a son, and say, hey, my son's a hard worker, he's great, but I don't see him as a Hall of Famer yet. I don't have to put that out into the universe. But goddamn, your son can't score in the G League, man. Like if he can't make it to the active roster, then come on. Who was it? Charles Barkley, I think, that said this. No, it was Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said Bronny needs to be in the G League and develop. He doesn't need to be sitting on the end of the bench and on the team. Give him a year to develop in the G League and then let him flourish there. And that's the thing, man. These guys are hungry. There's a bunch of guys in the G League that are better than Bronny, that are hungry, that have families to feed, that are playing their hearts out. And I'm gonna keep it 100. The reason why I don't have too much empathy for this situation when it comes to LeBron is because we got a guy right out here in Bakersfield, Tyron Williams, that is better. Tyron Wallace, excuse me. Yeah. Tyron Wallace, that's better than Bronny. And I'm not saying that to be controversial. You can look up his stats. He was more effective in the NBA. He was actually had a playing role with the Clippers, right? And he's not in the league. He's still a successful professional basketball player, but he's overseas. And you got a guy like Bronny that's on a roster not doing much. So you're not above reproach. Stephen A. can say what he wants. It's his job.
Yeah, I think so. Bronny's G League stats are pretty decent, though. He's averaging 21.1 points. 5.4 rebounds and then 5.3 assists in the G League.
As of when?
This is just his season stats in the G League. So it's from this actual basketball season. 7 games played this season. Yeah, that's kind of
when Stephen A. made those comments, it was after a few bad games.
So this is tip-off tournament. Yeah, I don't know what it's accounted for because it has 2 different things on here.
Yeah.
It has one that says, I think Stephen A. was primarily talking about his NBA stats.
Okay.
His G League stats are a little better because he has some 30-point games. He has some decent games. But this thing is a little different because on one little card it says 21.1 points, and then over here it says by year. And then it says 7 games played. Then it says 13.4 points. So I don't know exactly which one. But in the G League, I just say that to say he's doing okay in the G League. In the NBA, though, it has these are his games right here. So February 19th, so March 4th, the Pelicans, they played the Pelicans. He had 4 minutes. He had 2 points in that game, 1 for 3 shooting. And then it's a bunch of other games where he just didn't really get in at all, So that's like, in short, I think that Bronny has potential. I think when it comes to being LeBron James' son, Bronny is extremely athletic, and he jumps well. I think his stats don't necessarily show like how good he can be, and sometimes it takes some players, a little while to find their footing, like even guys like Steph Curry, and I'm not comparing. I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is. It just keeps happening randomly. But sometimes it takes a while for players to find their footing. But like I said, even with a guy like Steph Curry, even though he came out and he was like a lottery pick and stuff like that, he obviously his first few seasons, injuries and things of that nature, but he ends up being the Steph Curry we know today, the guy that changed the game. So like I said, I'm not comparing Bronny to Steph Curry, but I'm just saying like sometimes it takes players a little while to kind of become who they are. I think the difficult part about this situation, because like Stephen A. mentioned, this is a conversation about basketball, and then there's a conversation about somebody's son. And when LeBron approaches him, essentially saying like, stop talking about my son, or like keep my son out of this, it kind of like you can't really have the conversation about being a father because inherently he's playing on the Lakers.
Absolutely.
The biggest team, the most popular team in the NBA, or one of them at least. And, we also know that like it would be the same situation if like Troy Aikman's son was the quarterback of the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We know, and if he just got the job just because he's Troy Aikman's son, we know that would be big news because of, one, the last name, and because, two, they always talk about the Dallas Cowboys.
Absolutely.
So I just think that it's one of those things where I think LeBron, like, understandably, he got very emotional about it, but I think that there's like the raw emotions, but I think that when you actually sit down and think about it, you have to say, like, dog, my son is playing on the Los Angeles Lakers, and realistically, he got here because of me.
Absolutely.
Like, and he's named LeBron James Jr. You know what I mean? Like, these are all things that he didn't ask for, none of that stuff. But these are decisions. It's the same thing. Like, we always talk about, like, you know, I didn't ask to be here. You didn't ask to be here. But, you know, so that's the role of the parent, to try to, like, protect your kids from anything. And I think protecting Bronny would have probably been, like, maybe like one, you know, like the name change, not changing his name, but, you know, maybe not naming him. He was always going to be LeBron James. His last name was always going to be James. But in terms of, like, naming him LeBron James Jr., I know LeBron says that he himself, you know, kind of, I don't know if he said he regretted it, but that was one of the things that he pointed to. Like, he kind of wish he might have done differently.
Yeah.
And then, two, like, I think just letting it play out. You know what I mean? Like,
I think
letting him, you know, go to school and develop, you know, because when you just draw so much attention to the situation, when I know you want to play with your son and it's this whole thing, but I think if he goes to USC for another year, he has a whole year where he's actually healthy, you know, because he's not hurting for money. He not, you know, and if you're LeBron, you know that you're going to play a couple more years.
LeBron, he's controlling all the cards. He's the reason why all this shit's happening.
Exactly.
That's all.
Not to cut you off, but the conversation is not really about Bronny. It's really about LeBron.
That's what Stephen A. said.
Yeah, LeBron is the one that's catching all of these, all of the flack because, like I said, Bronny didn't ask for none of this. Bronny is a person who works hard, and he got a lot of, I think a lot of his success, his young success, like at Sierra Canyon and you know, making it to USC and stuff like that. I think some of that is because of the name, but some of that was because he was actually, you know, a decent basketball player.
Honestly, I don't know LeBron James, but I can say his ego is out of control, and this is why I can say this. LeBron's fucking ego is out of control because, ironically, he had a podcast, and his co-host was JJ Redick, who is now the head coach of the fucking Lakers. Oh, all of a sudden, his son's on the team, and he wasn't even the best player at USC, and he got drafted to the Lakers. LeBron James has too much fucking power. And now you're getting mad at Stephen A. Smith for having an opinion about an NBA player. That's your son. But that is not, like, he is not above reproach at all. And I think the biggest part about it is you made it worse for Bronny because you out here, you putting more pressure on Bronny now because now you yelling at Stephen A. Smith, but you might prove him wrong. If Bronny get out there and wet the bed, now you're giving Stephen A. more shit to talk about.
I think it doesn't really do anything. I don't think Stephen A. is not going to talk about Bronny. I think he may stop talking about him because it may not be anything to talk about. But it's always going to be a conversation if Bronny doesn't pan out, just the amount of control LeBron James had over that whole situation.
It's selfish.
And it's always going to be that we're always going to point back to the point where he was lashing out at Stephen A. Smith for essentially speaking the truth.
The best thing for Bronny would have been for him to not be on the Lakers. That would have been the best thing for him. To go to a different team because now you are under your father on the same fucking team and he's trying to baby you, but you can't do that in the NBA. Let me tell you something. If I played against Bronny and I'm fighting for a roster spot, man, I'm elbowing that nigga. I'm not trying to hurt him, but I'm finna play physical and make sure he don't score a bucket on me. It's dudes in the NBA that are going back and forth to the G League that are better than that kid. Mm-hmm. Grown ass men. And the thing about it is like you can't protect your son from that. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a dude it's a dude that's in the G League that's coming up to play with the Cavaliers. Your son get on the court, he gonna knock his head off. Mm-hmm. That's for your son to fix. That's not for you to fix. Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm gonna tell you something. This is an analogy, but it's true. You know how I learned how to swim, Keith? I learned how to swim because my father grabbed me walked me to the deep end of the pool and threw me in the fucking water. That's how I learned how to swim. And as I was going to the bottom of the fucking pool, I'm looking up through the water, and the water's all swiggly, and I just see my dad standing up there just making sure I didn't die from drowning. And I had to learn how to fucking swim. The idiom or saying, you either sink or swim, is real. It's a real thing. And I learned how to fucking swim. That's how I learned. And that's how any young man will have to get, grow. It's to face adversity. You can't overly nurture young men at all. We already talked about that. But another thing too, bro, is it was handled way too emotionally. And some people say, well, you don't have kids, and you can't invalidate that, because the best way for you to get a message across to another person is to say, hey, can you get me in touch with his people? I'd like to speak to Stephen A. Smith privately. And then when you could look a man in his eyes and you could tell him what bothers you, and you could look him in his face, and now he has to explain himself, that is more powerful than getting in front of a whole fucking crowd of people. Man, don't be talking about my son. Man, keep my son's name out your mouth. Like, you can't. LeBron pulled a Birdman. That's what he did. He pulled a fucking Birdman. He went to the Breakfast Club and said, all three of y'all, put some respect on my name. Nigga, that's not going to get you respect. That's not going to get you respect. The only way you get respect from people is when you put them in a position where they cannot get attention for disrespecting you. That is how you do it. You know how many motherfuckers
content for this. You just made Stephen A.
That's
Smith
it.
more money because he's going to talk about it on ESPN.
Exactly.
We're going to look on the YouTube channel. We're going to wait for his podcast to come out or his talk show or whatever, and those views are going to go up as well.
It's just what Birdman did for the Breakfast Club. He gave them a viral moment. If he would have been able to keep his composure and get them behind the scenes, they would have not had no story to tell.
Even, I think, if I remember correctly, Charlamagne was like, keep the cameers rolling or something.
Yeah,
he said.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
Because he was thinking about the moment.
Yeah.
That's what you got to understand. When Charlamagne used to say wild shit, he did it on purpose. Sometimes he was almost trying to like push a viral moment, and that's what you got to understand. You got to be able to read people better than that. My thing is this. I remember back in the day when I worked at Sears, I had a store manager. I'm pretty sure I told this story. It was this dude from South Africa. His name was Magaji, which is a weird name, but he was from South Africa. White dude. He probably was maybe 30 years old, right? He was a young store manager. And at the time, I was 21 years old. And I was getting the refrigerator from the sales floor, and I was taking it upstairs. And he started yelling at me in front of customers, saying you're not supposed to clear that. I already told you guys to not do this and to do that. And he's talking to me like that. He's talking crazy. And I'm almost in shock because I can't believe this motherfucker is yelling at me, right? And it's me, Rob, and the shout out to the homie Alvaro. And I went upstairs, and if you ever let something fester a little bit, you get even more fucking angry. You get even more angry because you're like, I can't believe this person just disrespected me like this. I can't fucking believe it. So what I did is, after I delivered that refrigerator to the customer, I went up to his office, and he was speaking to some other person. I don't know, somebody in corporate he was talking to. And I went in the office and said, hey, excuse me. I was like, hey, when you're done having a conversation, it's kind of urgent. Do you have a moment? And he was like, yeah, I got a moment. And he told the guy, go ahead, because he probably figured I had some other question, right? And when I went in his office, I closed the door, and I said, dude, and mind you, I'm 21 years old. This is why I'm bringing this up. I was 21 years old, and I handled the situation better than a 40-year-old with LeBron James. I went in the office, and I told him, what you did earlier was inexcusable. You disrespected me as a man and as an employee. Don't ever do that again. He's like, oh, I was going to apologize. Hey, I'm just having a tough day. I said, I hear you, but that was not okay. Don't do that again. And you know what happened after that, Keith? Store manager never fucking talked to me again. Swear to God. He would walk by me, not say hi, not say excuse me, nothing. He would just turn his head when he seen me coming. Because I didn't give him the attention he probably wanted. He probably wanted me to yell at him and cuss him out. He would go, well, you're fired. Get your stuff. He was looking for that scene. I did not give him a scene. I took it away from him when I went in his office and closed the door. And at 21, I was still lifting weights. So he probably was scared I was going to fuck him up. But he just shriveled up like a coward. And that is power. When you could get somebody and you get them out of their comfort zone and you force them to acknowledge you, that is different than getting in front of a fucking audience trying to intimidate somebody. LeBron is 6'9", like 270 pounds, and you got a 57-year-old Stephen A. Smith. You don't look good doing that.
Yeah. I don't think, at least for me, and I think for most people on the internet, I don't know if anybody looked at that and was just thinking like, man, yeah, you right. Go ahead, Bron.
They did. Oh, it was a lot.
I know it's a lot. I'm just saying, like, it's I don't think that was the general consensus. Like, I don't think
it felt like it.
It's it's algorithm based. I don't think that we can really know who said. I mean, how many people were on either side.
Yeah, we're not always gonna know. All I know is that when I did see it when it was happening, I seen that the smaller opinion was the one of reason.
But what I'm saying is, I know for a fact there has been multiple people that have podcasts that are sports analysts that have said the same thing as Stephen A. Smith. So there's a lot of people. I'm not saying they're necessarily like backing Stephen A. Smith, but I also know that there has been tons and tons of talking heads as like Bronny James should not have been drafted by the Lakers.
Absolutely.
So I think that what I'm saying is any level-headed, decent, human being would look at that and be like, it's just it's a lot of showmanship going on. And like you say, when you're at sideline at the NBA game, it's a quick thing. It's not like a private conversation. It's a lot of emotion, a lot of aggressive, body language going on. I think it's all for show.
What's being missed is a few things. One of the things that is being missed is you went during the process of the game. In the third quarter, you approached this man during the game. Nigga, focus on the game. Why are you approaching somebody while a game is in progress? Nope, that's what's being lost. Like, literally, the game, like, it meant more to you to approach Stephen A. Smith when you could have did the shit after the game than focusing on the fucking floor. Let me tell you something, dog. Only LeBron James could do this. Only LeBron James. Because if you're not of his caliber, you can't do that. If you're a guy that's fighting for a roster spot, you can't go address Stephen A. Smith. They will fucking fine your ass. Do you think the NBA is going to allow? You think that the NBA? That's got to be your phone this time. I think it's close to that fucking.
My phone ain't. It can't be my phone. Like, it's just happening randomly.
I don't know what's going on. Anyways, if you're a guy that's fighting for a roster spot, you can't approach Stephen A. Smith, man. You can't approach him and say, "Hey, stop talking about me, man." The Lakers will cut your ass so quick, especially during a game in progress. That's the problem too. Is LeBron has this way too much power. You got JJ Redick, who is your age, coaching the team, and it was your fucking podcast host. That's like me taking over a multi-million-dollar company, and all of a sudden I got like Keith in a position with zero experience.
Yeah.
I would totally do that, by the way.
That's what I'm like. I don't have a problem with that. I think the JJ Redick hire, I think, is very questionable just because he's never been a coach.
He's never been a coach at all.
But I think that, the LeBron James power thing is what it is. When you're a great basketball player, you have it seems like you have, a little bit of control over your team. But what I would say is that, how usually it's panned out on his team. Like he's, put people in position and they've had, success in winning and stuff like that. I think this one is the only one that has been in question because it hasn't panned out. We're seeing Bronny, one, really not playing that much, and then two, when he's in the game, he's not really affecting the game. When he got in, I think it was the 76ers, he got in there and it just showed how he was a little bit, in terms of Bronny, was a little bit in over his head. Yeah. And I think that the only thing that I would say is, there's still a lot of time for Bronny to get better and things like that. I think it was a cool check mark for him to play with his son. But I think in looking back on it, when we actually see it and we see that it didn't really pan out, it kind of it kind of looks a little premature now. It looks like it was like, how would you say, this is what it reminded me of. You know, back in the day, like in the NFL, where guys had like starting streaks. Like, I don't know if you remember, like, I think Randy Moss had a very long one, and like Brett Favre and these guys. So what would happen was they would get into the game for like a series, and then they would go to the sideline because they were really injured and they really couldn't play, but they didn't want to break their starting streak or something like that. So that's kind of like, I liken this situation to that, because they're not actually playing the game. They didn't actually like contribute to the team winning, but it was like a cool image, you know, to kind of be the first father and son to play simultaneously. But I think looking back on it now, I don't think it has that. I don't think it moves me in that way. And then one thing I will say too is that I hope that when it's his turn he's going to college, I think next year, I believe. Yeah. When it's his time to get drafted and all this, I think I hope that LeBron learns from this situation, and I hope that he just kind of lets it play out. If Bryce gets drafted, if Bryce, you know, ends up, you know, playing on the G League, undrafted, whatever the case may be, I hope that it just pans out, you know. And the thing about it too is LeBron is obviously great, but there's other basketball players that have kids that are really good, right? And the thing about it, even with Shaq's son, I think he was Sharif. He was a decent basketball player, but in my opinion, I think Shaq just kind of let it play.
He had a heart issue too, though. He had a heart issue.
Yeah, but he still was in the NBA and he still went to college and stuff. But I'm just saying, Shaq. It didn't seem like Shaq kind of forced his way, or he just kind of played the fatherly role and let the chips fall where they may. And there's no flack. Like, we don't look at Shaq and be like, you did this or you did that, because it just kind of played out how it was supposed to.
Ultimately, LeBron could take this circus and get the fuck on. I'm a Laker fan. I'm not a fan of all this. This is not winning championships. I do not care. They could all leave, and I will still be a Laker fan. Shaq left, I was still a Laker fan. Kobe ended up pulling out 2 more championships. I just don't like where this team is going. LeBron's got too much power, and he brought this bullshit over to the Lakers. He could get the fuck on. He really can. I know there's a lot of Laker fans that feel the same way. Because that Luka move was for when LeBron leaves. LeBron ended up getting Bronny because he knew he was close to retirement and wanted the opportunity to play with his son. I respect it, but from a fan standpoint, I don't give a fuck. I don't. I genuinely don't. It brought value to LeBron. God bless him. You know, nepotism is not always a bad thing. But it just now this is where nepotism takes a hard turn. This is where it starts to go left, man. Mm-hmm. And this is what I will say to close all this out. I think it is more important to be more cerebral than reactionary. This is for everybody, for anyone. When you can outbrain somebody, when you can outthink people, that's when you win. That's when you win. You don't win by force. You can't always use brute force to get people to bend to you. That's not how life fucking works, man. Mm-hmm. That ain't how it works. Mm-hmm. That's like, for example, if I found out my kid was getting bullied, right? If I found out, yes, of course I'd be fucking mad. I would go to the school. I'd tell him, hey, you know, this isn't right. You know, this kid's doing this. But I would also be very thoughtful, because I wouldn't go up to the school angry and mad. I would have to compose myself. I would say, hey, where's this person's parent? Is his father around? Let me talk to his father, right? And then I would try to have a cordial conversation with that young man's father. And if his father was not, very kind to me and seemed to be very short-ended, I would knock his teeth out, because I gave you the opportunity I gave you an opportunity to explain yourself. I respected you as a man, but your son will never bully my son again, because I'm going to knock your teeth out in front of your son so he can see that he needs to cut it out.
What if he was like, yeah, I mean, you know, my son going to do what he going to do. Your son need to just stop getting bullied around here. What would he say, something like that?
I'm punching him right in his mouth. Because that's when the lesson needs to be taught. But my thing is, I'm going to outthink everybody. I'm not going to come up there guns blazing off the bat. I'm going to try my best to say, hey, man, your son's doing this. This ain't right. And if the father says, no, this shit ain't right, and I'm going to make sure I get my son straightened out, he'll never do this again. And we could shake hands and move on like men. Mm-hmm. So it ain't got to be no bloodshed if you could look me in the eyes as a man and say, hey, my son will never fuck with your son again. I'm gonna have to straighten my son out. Now we can move on because the issue is dropped without no violence. But if I've approached you respectfully and you spitting on me, I'm gonna fuck you up now. I don't care who there. Your son could be your son gonna watch you get stomped out.
I think like you said, I think if we take it back to this situation where LeBron James, because supposedly he said that I don't know if it was Maverick Carter or somebody had reached out to Stephen A. Smith.
Nobody reached out to him.
That's what Stephen A. said.
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
No, I'm just saying nobody reached out to him.
That's what he said. That's what Stephen A. said.
I'm not combating it. I'm just doubling down.
I don't get it.
You said nobody I said, no, nobody did. I'm agreeing with you.
Maverick Carter reached out to him.
When?
That's what Stephen A. said. That's what he said on his thing. He said that
after the fact?
No, it was previously. He said basically LeBron didn't call me. He had Maverick or whomever reach out to me. But yeah, so what I'm saying is he had somebody reach out to him, and then it kind of kept going. But LeBron James, I guess LeBron.
Stephen A. said LeBron doesn't fuck with me in layman's terms on his Stephen A. Smith show.
Yeah.
He said he doesn't fuck with me. It's been that way since about 2012. It's high and by, and he moves on. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's cool. He said he don't got to fuck with me. That's cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, nigga, you not going to come up on me and just... Look, here's the thing. If I'm an ex-NBA player and I'm an analyst and LeBron walk up on me, I'm going to sock you in your mouth. Nigga, you got me fucked up. You're not going like, the thing about it is I'm going to be professional, but if you are posing a violent threat to me, I don't care if it's in the course of a game. If you are in my face and it gets physical, I'm going to punch you in your mouth. Mm-hmm. Because the thing about it is I'm Stephen A. Smith. I'm probably 6'2", right? And I'm 57 years old. So you putting that energy on me don't make no sense. I'm going to tell you something that's different. I would like to see him have that same energy towards Shaq. If Shaq made a statement about Bronny, I'm not sure if LeBron would do that to Shaq. Look, I can't say he would do it. I would like to see him have that same energy with Kevin Garnett. Not sure if he would do that. I'm not sure. But I know that there's a lot of NBA players that also have honest conversations, Yeah. But I also have seen a lot of NBA players not be very objective about this. I've seen journalists that are on the side of journalists, and I've seen ex-NBA players that are on the side of these players. At the end of the day, I'm an objective person. So I wouldn't get wrapped up in a fraternity. Because here's the thing, Matt Barnes is like, I haven't heard his take actually. I'm curious to know what Matt Barnes' take is because he has two twin sons that are really good at basketball. And
Gilbert Arenas too. His kids are really good.
Yes, his son is really good. Mm-hmm. See, that's the difference. Like, these guys got sons, but I mean, as an NBA player, you got to get your kid ready and say, hey, they're gonna be talking crazy about you, bro. Mm-hmm. I mean, Carmelo Anthony's son is very good too.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. It always happens like this. Like Michael Jordan, Jeffrey was a hooper. I think he played on Illinois, and I think what's the other son's name? The Coke one.
I think the Coke one played at like University of Central Florida or some shit.
Yeah. Was it Marcus?
The Coke one.
Yeah. So both of them played college basketball, but it was never a conversation like these guys were going to be like, the next Michael Jordans. But when it comes to like Carlos Boozer's son, Gilbert Arenas' son, Carmelo Anthony's son, like these are guys that, they're already deeming as like, some really good hoopers. But it's unfortunate that like LeBron is better than all these guys.
Right.
But, his son is not as, his son's resume kind of pales in comparison to these guys.
I think that having a crash out is okay as long as you've went through all the cerebral steps first.
But I would say one thing to add to that, I think the crash out kind of validates Stephen A's point, though.
Absolutely, it does. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying a crash out is reasonable when you went through all the proper channels first. Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing about life.
That was my point when I was saying like LeBron and Stephen A didn't really have that conversation behind closed doors. It was like third party, like, I don't know what the conversation entailed, but it's like his agent or whatever reaching out to to Stephen A. Smith, but it wasn't like LeBron and Stephen A. sitting down, hey, let's meet up over here. Stephen A. said, I would have flew out. He said, if LeBron reached out to me and he wanted to have a conversation, I would have took the phone call. He said I would have flown out to wherever he was and we could have had the conversation face to face.
You could have did it over the fucking phone. You even got to fly out. Here's the thing, man, and this is going to trigger some people, but I would compare what happened with LeBron and Stephen A. Smith to like a relationship or a marriage. Right? Imagine you're a woman and your husband comes home from work and he just kind of throws his underwear. Instead of throwing them in the basket in the dirty clothes, he kind of like lays them on the floor. And he's done this over and over. You keep picking up his socks or his pants and you keep putting them in there. This is going on for a course of 5-6 months. And then you just get mad. All you do is throw your clothes on the ground. You never put them in the bag. And then he's confused because he's like, wait, what's going on? Why are you mad at me? This is the first time you told me this frustrated you. And you done crashed out on somebody and you never communicated to them that it was a fucking problem. And now the person is confused and they could be combating you because you never addressed it. Here's the point. You need to address things concurrently. If something is bothering you, you need to reach out to that person and say, hey, man, we need to talk in private. Or, hey, I'm not okay with this. This is not okay. I don't like when you say this. I don't like when you do this. You got to give people the opportunity to improve if that's what you want. But to just cross your arms and sit back and be frustrated, yes, that person could be inconveniencing you. Yes, that person could be doing something that could piss you off. However, it starts to become your problem when you don't address it. That's when it starts to become your problem.
Mm-hmm. And to my understanding, I don't think, I don't watch First Take every day, but I don't think he's talked about Bronny in a little minute.
He said this is all about LeBron. He said, I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about you. He literally said that.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the conversation, like the game against the 76ers where people were really talking about like, dang, Bronny shouldn't be in it. That was weeks ago.
Yeah, I know that. It was quite a while ago. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying what he said. He said all of these things.
No, what I'm saying, you're talking about speaking about it concurrently. I'm kind of adding to your point that if it was a conversation to be had, it should have been when Bronny got in there versus the 76ers and he kind of wet the bed.
Yeah, that's what I meant by concurrently addressing it when I spoke about that earlier. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying now though, is what Stephen A. said, is that this is about you. He wasn't even mentioning Bronny. Mm-hmm. That's what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. So the thing is that's what's going on. Mm-hmm. So there's that. I don't want to keep talking in circles. I think we said enough about this situation. I just think ultimately, make sure you handle your situations concurrently. Don't let them build up and give people the opportunity to speak their piece, even if you're frustrated by them. I think it's real easy to unsubscribe from people and you just invalidate everything they fucking say. There are people that I don't necessarily like, but I don't invalidate that whole person. I will still take the opportunity to speak to them and find out what's going on. Just crashing out on people is fucked up, poor communication. I don't care if you're LeBron James, the president of the United States, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. You know, do better, man. Do better.
Yeah, I would be curious to hear from other people. Like we know Coach Sheehy. I know Coach Gola's son was a quarterback. I don't know if he might have graduated already. But, when you have those like not exactly like LeBron because LeBron is playing with his son, but just those situations where your son, is put into a position where people might look at it like, oh, like there's the backup quarterback is better, or this running back is actually better than him and he's getting more playing time or whatever. Like I would be curious to know like how do those coaches and people that we know personally or people that are other people in those positions, how do they deal with that?
I can't speak right across the board, but I can speak from experience when I played for my dad. When I got in the game, I missed a couple shots. I got burnt on defense. My dad put me on the fucking bench. He said, "You hurting the team right now. Get your head together." And he sat me on the bench for a while. I was the best player on that team. Sat me on the bench for a while and allowed me to get my mind right. I came in and scored about 26 points, right? But he sat me on the bench to the point to where I could hear the people around me. I was in 6th grade. I'll never forget this shit. The parents was like, he put his son on the bench. He put his son on the bench. And then the dude that put in the game wasn't great, but he was hustling. He wasn't fucking the team up like I was. But my dad threw me in the fire And and that's what you got to do with people. You can't keep defending motherfuckers, man. I can speak because my dad sat me on the fucking bench.
You know, it's crazy too. Is LeBron mentioned it? He was basically saying like, you know, like a lot of this LeBron. He was basically saying like, Bronny, he a good kid. He go home. He's like, he don't even have to play basketball. Like, you know what I mean? He was saying like he goes home, he works out, he plays his video game, and he just be chilling. But I think a lot of that is like to save face. Like a lot of those sentiments that you're saying, like LeBron, like this rolls off Bronny's shoulders, or we don't hear the noise, and that stuff is all nonsense.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, people be lying, bro.
Stop with the PR.
Yeah, it's all of that stuff affects you. People be in the comments. People be, you know, on First Take as much as people be acting like they don't watch the whole Zero Dark 30, like all of that stuff.
It's all fake. As much as LeBron is on social media, you know it's a goddamn lie. He sees everything, okay? These people, they see everything. Athletes, they see everything.
Yeah.
Why do you think Drake limits his fucking comments? You know what I'm saying? These people are trying to, like, they're trying to save themselves. But here's the thing. Even though I do a podcast and I talk a lot, I think LeBron has to learn when to stop talking. And I think a lot of people don't know when they need to stop. See, we may get on a podcast and talk for 2 or 3 hours, but the difference is there are a lot of things we don't address in public. I think the best thing LeBron could have did is just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Don't even mention nothing about it. It's already loud enough that your son's a part of a fucking franchise that he shouldn't be on. Now, I would just if I was LeBron, I would tell my son straight up. I would look here, man. It's obvious you here. I believe in you, but yeah, you got the nod from me. But this shit is on you now. Everything is on you. Everybody talking. This is what you wanted. This is what you got.
Do you think this situation would be any different if he just was an undrafted free agent and he signed with the Lakers?
No. The only way it'd be different if it wasn't LeBron James. It's LeBron goddamn James. It don't matter if LeBron James kid came in. If LeBron,
he was a second round draft pick in the NBA is like the equivalent of like a 7th round draft pick in the NFL.
If LeBron James' son came to the NBA as an equipment manager, there would be a headline about him.
Yeah, true.
Okay, because that's LeBron goddamn James. So all this other stuff, it don't matter. So my best wishes go to him, man. Hopefully he figures it out. And hopefully LeBron learns from this, man. You too old to be doing this. You 40 years old, bro. You got to learn how to have conversations. You had opportunity to speak to that man and you didn't. So it don't look good on you. I think maybe in his mind he thought like, you know, this gonna look fire if I yell at him in front of everybody.
He doubled down. I think there was a video, you know, the whole lip reader, you know, pages that they be having. I think he was talking to Richard Jefferson and he kind of doubled down on it like, yeah, that nigga need to stop talking about my son type of thing. So
that ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
If your son get out there and get abused and everybody talking about it and ESPN is telling me like, hey, you need to mention this.
You know what this is? This is the equivalent of LeBron James sitting on the stage with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade talking about not 2, not 3, not 4. That's the same. That's the same thing he did. Yeah. So if Bronny, you know, whenever he gets out there, and I'm hoping for the best for him because I think that I think he has a lot of raw skill, and you know, it obviously hasn't translated to NBA success. But I don't wish I don't wish his downfall by any means.
Absolutely not.
But I'm saying that to say that he is adding more pressure to Bronny to perform because when he gets out there and if he goes 0 for 4 or airballs a 3-pointer, it's just going to start looking worse and worse and worse.
I think the thing that's fucked up is this, and we're going to leave this conversation alone. I think that because I understand the way basketball works and the very small percentage of people that actually make it to the NBA, there is a dude right now that is working at Amazon warehouse to provide for his family, and he is way better than Bronny James. And he is he's not bagging up shit. He's packaging shit up at Amazon, working hours, and trying to get into the fucking league. And there are a bunch of guys just like that. Why can I say that? Why am I sure of saying that? There's a guy named Kurt Warner that worked at a grocery store, and he ended up getting on the Rams roster because he played in an arena league and ultimately made it to go to the Rams. But that just proves my point. There are so many talented athletes that are praying and hoping and wishing for the opportunity to play this game. And then you got LeBron James just scooping his son right onto the fucking Lakers. So that's the thing. I think ultimately he got to pan out. Because if he not, you holding somebody's position. It's somebody else that's probably more suitable for that roster spot. So there's that. All right, switching gears. Dun, 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 dun. Woman is shocked by what she found in her elderly grandmother's house. So this is recent. There was a woman that found some stuff in her grandmother's in her house, and it was a card. It was for a sex worker, and I'm not sure what time stamp or what time frame this from. This looks like it's from like the 50s, like maybe the 50s or the 40s. It's a dude named Dr. Dan, like literally. His name is Dr. Dan. He's like is a sex doctor. And it says, Dr. Dan, expert plain and fancy fucking. Evenings by appointment only. Cut rate to party of 6 or more. So this guy's fucking like 6 people. This is the real card that her grandmother had. Satisfaction with one hard on. And then this is what this says in the back. This is what it says in the back of the card. It's a price listing for the sex positions that's available. It says plain insertion, $20. With caress, $27. Inverted position, $22.50. And this is how you know this was a long time ago. It says dog fashion, not doggy style, dog fashion, $22.50. Damn, $22 back then for doggy style. That's inflation, man.
And it's a dog fashion with barking and yelping.
Yeah, that's wild, yo. It says womb stretch. So a womb stretch, I'm not sure what a womb stretch is. I just assume this person may have a huge penis. Because if you're stretching a womb out, goddamn, the womb stretch is $39.25, and then a tongue bath is $50.
That's crazy.
A muff dive is $100, and it says time limits per hour $37.50. That's a lot of money, dog. That's a lot of money.
A muff dive is crazy.
I
looked it up. It says a muff diver is a person who performs cunnilingus.
Oh, okay. Then what is a tongue bath then?
I guess you almost like a dog. I guess you licking the person all over.
That's crazy. Jesus Christ. And it says per hour, and it says all night 12 hours is $150. They cutting you a deal with that $150. And it says, who's having sex all night? God damn. Titty chewing is $1.15.
The crazy part is this is a real business.
This is a real business, yes.
They actually thought all these prices out.
Yeah, and it says the French tickler is $3.25. Finger diddle, $9.50. Damn, they was paying, man. And then
satisfaction with one hard.
Vaseline, if needed, $125. Damn, $125 for Vaseline is crazy.
Yeah.
This is crazy. You got to imagine, this card looks very old. I'm assuming it's probably in the 40s. Maybe the 40s or the 50s. Who knows?
Yeah.
Some of the language might be even, I wonder if this shit is from like the 20s, man. Mm-hmm. Because I could imagine, like, Dr. Dan, read all about it. Expert plain and fancy fucking. That's when people, what do they call that? The accent?
Oh, the transatlantic
accent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of like baseball announcers talk like that. Mm-hmm. All right, we got Tommy the Tickler.
Yeah,
and he's known for throwing Russian meatballs.
Oh dang!
There he goes. Home run, White Sox. You like, man?
That's a muff dive if I've ever seen one.
He's yelping for sure. She's definitely getting that dog fashion. That's wild, man. This is crazy. Look, the reason why this is a story is for this reason. I think we have to stop assuming that old, nice, quiet lady or that really nice old man that's really kind to everybody, that gives kids candy and waves hi to everybody, they was probably freaky as a motherfucker back in the day.
Yeah.
That school teacher that just retired and she's like 81 years old, that lady was probably out being a freak. Mm-hmm. Because these cars this is like the Instagram of its time. It's lustful, man. That's wild, man.
Yeah, they really printed these out.
They printed those cards out, man. That's it's not no gag gift. Mm-hmm. And it was the grandma. So the grandma was out there paying for dick in the fucking 20s, man. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, that's crazy, man. Yeah, I need to find out the exact time frame.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks about this thing. It don't have a lot of information on there. It just has the card.
And you know what's crazy too? I think people hold on to their most wildest sex experiences in some way. Like people, I think even like married people, it might be somebody from like back in college that just did something to them that was so freaked out that they got something from that time frame. Like they still got the clothes they was wearing when they was fucking that night.
Yeah.
Like back in 2005 at 7 p.m.
Yeah. They never washed their drawers from that time.
Yeah, you probably some chick that she probably still got the same she got the same backflip phone that she had. Mm-hmm. What was the phone that T-Mobile had?
Which one?
The one that would slide open?
Oh, the Sidekick.
Yeah, she probably got the same Sidekick phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she probably got all them nudes still in that Sidekick phone.
Yeah, yeah.
She
used to call it the side dick. He got a picture. He got the side angle of the dick as the screensaver.
This nigga's dick picture came as a JPEG. What they call them? MPEGs?
A JPEG. Yeah.
Oh man, the MMS messages were so blurry, bro.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Pixelated dick pics back in the day.
Oh man, but no, man. I think that as people be freaked out, man. Mm-hmm. I remember when I was going to college or back in the day, those it was flip phones back in like this had to be 05. Mm-hmm. So people like the most advanced flip phones only had like 1.5 megapixels or 2 megapixels.
Yeah.
And it was this dude, he played on the football team. His name was Keith. Mm-hmm. And
it wasn't me.
Nah, it wasn't him, yeah. But he like, yeah, look at this, y'all. She a freak. Look at this. And he had a sex tape on his fucking flip phone. And I'm like, bro, why is this guy showing people that? And because because the phone had bad quality, all you heard was like,
oh, the sound was terrible too.
He's like, yeah, she's sucking that dick. Look. I'm not looking at that shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been one to like kiss and tell. I think that's weird.
I've never filmed some sort of sex tape or nothing like that.
Nah, you do. And what's wild is like I don't know. I hope women don't do that anymore because dudes be like showing that stuff. I remember it was this dude. Yeah. It's this dude that used to go to the Iron Arms back in the day. I'm not gonna say any names, but this dude used to be like fucking chicks. And then would send a Snapchat to the owner of the gym. And the owner of the gym would be playing the Snapchat videos of the dude fucking some chicks.
Really?
I swear to God. And I was like, he'd be like, and everybody, like a bunch of those guys would be standing around looking at the video like, dang, that fool's, he's hitting that. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with these guys?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would be walking out to go to my car and they standing there like, damn, this guy's killing it. Look at this dude.
Yeah.
And then he would like almost insinuate for everybody to look. And I'm not looking at that shit, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people crazy, dog.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's the thing. Like niggas be sending the sex tapes to the group chats.
Nah, we ain't doing that.
I think girls just gotta be more careful, man. Because it be girls like they be giving dome looking into the camera. I'm like, dog, like
yeah, don't let him do you like that.
It's just that's one click away from that being on your Instagram story.
That shit could go to like a porn site.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the fucked up thing. Like the thing about it is this. Like I mean, I think most people in society have seen porn before. But if you ever come across a site and you like click on the video and it look like it's like a homemade, like it was not intended for it to be for public consumption, mm-hmm. You like that's fucked up, man. Mm-hmm. That doesn't look like she's volunteering for this shit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to take that shit off the internet. That ain't it.
Yeah,
it's like something ain't right when somebody in a Walmart uniform fucking. It's like, come on, man, that ain't right. Mm-hmm. I don't think Walmart would appreciate that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that just going back to what you're saying, I never been. I think once the quality of cameras started to get really good, and there was like too many social medias. Like back when it was like Twitter and Facebook were kind of the only things going on, and then like the phone quality was not that great. Mm-hmm. And then I just kind of matured. I kind of stopped doing the whole like sending nude sort of thing, and then you start to see like how people were moving. Like people was like, there was a couple situations out here in Bakersfield where girls were posting guys nudes on like Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, there was one guy out here that was my age. I don't know if he sent it to her. I don't know if he's trying to holler at her or what, but yeah, she definitely posted. And about the situation. The dude was on soft and everything. Yeah, dude was on soft with the whole body pic, and yeah, she posted his nude. So
Oh my
yeah,
God.
that after stuff like that, that's when it was just like only like Snapchat where you would like that kind of reinvigorated it a little bit because we knew that the message would delete, and we knew that if they saved it, like it would alert us. So that kind of got you a little bit of security in the situation, but people started taking the other phone. Like they would, instead of recording it on their screen, they would just grab their other phone, that they old Android phone, and record the screen. I'm like, dang.
That's crazy. It's somebody. That's the thing that's scary. It's somebody around. It could be somebody out there with a new picture from like 2013 or something. And yeah, that's why that whole sentence.
Yeah, like the person married, got kids, fam. They got, they daughter in junior high now, but they got like a nude on somebody's phone still. It's definitely guys like that out there that got like the whole Rolodex of every picture that they ever received.
You got to delete that. Any nude that I've ever received, I deleted it. I did not save it or it's deleted. Because my thing is, I don't feel comfortable with it in my phone. Because what if it got loose from my phone? What if who knows? What if your phone get hacked and now somebody and when women trust you and they send that stuff and their face is in it, you got to take that serious because I'm not, nah.
That's what happened with the fappening. I don't know if you remember that.
I think
when they hacked all the celebrities' iClouds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was all any Scarlett Johansson. Like
I don't remember Scarlett. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I think she was on there. It was a whole bunch of like actors and stuff that was on there, even musicians and stuff.
Oh yeah, is that when Cassie's got leaked?
No, I think Cassie's was in a different. Yeah, that was in the Diddy files.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy, man.
Nigga Diddy, terrible. Jesus Christ. All right, well yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Shout out to Grandma, man. Grandma lived her life, man.
Yeah,
yeah. So this was like probably equivalent to spring break, I guess. Because that was yeah. Anyways, all right, switching gears. Excuse me. Journey Smollett, her ex-husband wants half of her SAG pension 4 years after nearly $1 million divorce settlement. So basically, she was obviously the breadwinner. They split up. I don't know why they broke up or what happened. I don't know if there's infidelity. I don't know. And it says, I don't like reading people's opinions, but it says, when it comes to what's mine is yours mentality in marriage, how far is too far? Actress Journey Smollett may have to ask herself that very question as she faces new legal battle with her ex-husband, musician Josiah Bell. The Lovecraft country star who finalized her divorce from Bell in August 21 might be heading to the court soon because her ex is now requesting half of her retirement savings, including her Screen Actors Guild SAG pension, despite already receiving nearly $1 million payout in their initial divorce settlement. Bell is now asking for more. The Breakfast Club reports that Bell is seeking 50% of the Smollett funds accrued in her retirement accounts from 2010 to 2019. God damn. The years they were married under California community property laws, marital assets are typically divided equally in divorce, which could make his claim legally valid. God damn. Let me tell you something, dog. And this is just my opinion. Let's say I wasn't the breadwinner and the court decided that I got so much, right? And I did get that money. I don't want nothing else from her. I don't want nothing else from her. I think at some point, you still a man. At some point, you still a man. And to just keep coming for more money is pretty fucked up, in my opinion. I think like legally they got you $1 million some payout, but going after her retirement is fucked up. I don't care if I walked in on my wife giving a blowjob, I would be distraught. But whatever they got me in court, I would take that. But I'm not coming after her for nothing else. I just want to move on with my motherfucking life.
Right.
I don't care to be like, I want your retirement. I want this and that. I hate to say this, and this may sound kind of, I guess, sexist, but this sounds like something a woman would do, not a man.
Yeah. Like
this sounds like something a woman would do and come after somebody's pension. But as a grown man coming after her fucking pension, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah, her retirement, dog, that's lame.
That's lame, bro.
Yeah.
That's lame as fuck.
Yeah.
And also, too, whatever woman he gets with in the future, they gonna all know what he about. And none of them gonna respect him for that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's a lot. Like I said, I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was infidelity or she was cheating. I just don't care. I don't care if I busted my wife cheating. It literally, I don't want nothing else besides what the court would feel that I'm liable to get, and I'm just going to move the fuck on because I don't want to deal with it no more.
I think the only time that type of situation, like where you should probably like seek more, is if it was like some sort of business dealings. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Say like we started real estate company or something like that, and maybe her credit was better, so like all of her names are on the books and things like that, and I was just kind of like the silent investor, throwing X amount of money in to kind of help fund the business, but everything was just kind of under her name, and then we didn't really have like the legalities correct just because we thought we was never going to get divorced, and then years later we get divorced, and then she just want to take everything. I would say in that situation, that's when you could kind of like go ahead and fight for what you actually deserve. But if y'all just if y'all got married and everything was smooth, and then she goes on to do like these shows, and she goes on to star in movies, she's getting like paid handsomely for her actual work, and you just kind of like a bedroom producer or whatever. I guess he's a musician or whatever, and I don't know how much of a fan base he has or how much he's making off of his music, but dog, just go on with your life, man. And it's like I don't think there was any information about why they broke up, but I just think in this situation, like for me, I'm not trying to use like the end of my relationship to kind of get back at the person.
Yeah.
If like we break up for, like you said, for whatever reason, obviously you're gonna be sad and you're gonna be hurt, but you getting more money is not going to make you feel any better. You know what I mean? Like you broke up and that it is what it is. But I just don't think that. I think people take advantage of this, like the system in which it rewards people for ain't that crazy? Like people can get rewarded for divorce. And I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but I'm just saying like, that's the divorce is the penalty. So all the money is not, all it is just making the situation, even worse. So yeah, I don't know. I just think like, I think more people need to have like prenuptial conversations, and not necessarily because, you don't want to pay anything. I just think it makes the divorce cleaner. If so many people are getting divorced, I just think that we need to start having these prenup conversations. Like, hey, what if this ends? Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to split up this money? Where are the kids going to go? How are we going to fund their education and their schooling and college and things like that, private school? And, I think those conversations need to be had because even when you make a business plan, like say you're trying to get a loan from Bank of America or something like that. When you go in there with a business plan, you're going to put the business's goals together, the objective of the business, right, and things like that. And one of the things that you put at the end of your business plan is what they call the exit plan. And the exit plan is basically the strategy that you're going to use or utilize to actually leave the company. So say, for example, I start this like this tech social media company or something like that. And it's like a Instagram competitor, whatever the case may be. I need to put together a plan to get out of there potentially because, most people are not going to run the business forever. So if I need to put in a strategy or a plan, if Mark Zuckerberg is like, yo, I really like this company, we want to acquire this company, I need to have a plan in place so that I know what it should look like or what I would be asking for in that situation to get out of there, to dissolve the business, whatever the case may be. So I think more people in relationships, not that you're planning for failure, but you just need to have, some things in place to so that you can separate without all this freaking TMZ drama.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think ultimately too, man, I'm trying to look for the reason for divorce. I can't find that. Mm-hmm. But I supposedly they have joint custody, mm-hmm, but he getting $7,000 a month in child support.
Yeah.
So it's like, God damn. Mm-hmm. Like, look, man, ultimately I think there has to be more serious conversations at hand. Cause when people get married, they don't they don't think they're ever going to get divorced. But you got to understand, shit can happen. I think people are unpredictable. I think that you might know who that person is right now, but you don't know who that person or he or she is going to be in the next 12 years. Motherfuckers change. Sometimes you change together. Sometimes you change apart. So you got to protect yourself. And it's like this. If I was to get a divorce and we was married for like 15 years, I'm already hurting bad from the divorce. Now my money got to be gone. I think at the very least, if I could pay my wife out or do like, I say 1 year of support. I think you shouldn't have no more than 1 year. 1 year alimony, spousal support. The child support is different. You got a kid, you got to pay that. But if we don't have a kid, I think it should be legal to only pay spousal support for 1 year. That'll give your ass some time to get a job. And I think that the spousal support should not stop even if they get a job. You got a job, you should still be liable, you still be eligible to get your spousal support. But after that year, get out my pockets. We not together no more. At some point, you just paying somebody. Now you paying somebody you not with no more. So they all fucking who they want to fuck, and you still paying them. So I'm paying you to fuck other people now. Right. Fuck that shit. Yeah.
And what happens too is, and I don't know where I heard this, but I've heard of situations where people can move on, but they won't marry their new partner because there was that alimony or whatever would stop. So. Yeah, that's taking advantage of the system. I think there just needs to be like more concrete laws when it comes to this. But I think what would prevent all of that is just having some sort of plan or prenup before we sign that deal. Because you just never know where your life is going to take you. Some of these people came in, like if I'm journeying, who knows like what their situation was, like if they had any sort of paperwork, whatever the case may be. Obviously, it doesn't look like it. But if I am been a successful entertainer since I was 3 years old, I think if I'm meeting anybody in my latter years of life, I'm going to set myself up in a way where I'm put in a position where I can at least control how I would divvy up my, support for my partner if we do get divorced. I think some situations are different where if we was broke together, if we got it out the mud, and then we end up getting a divorce, there's a lot of people that would be like, man, she could take half of everything because we kind of grew this empire together and she's owed said things. But if I am like Michael B. Jordan and I don't meet my partner till I'm like in my 30s and they are like not as successful as me, maybe they're a backup dancer or maybe they're like, some sort of intern or something like that. I think in those situations, you got to make sure your stuff is in order.
You're right, and I agree with that, but I got to push back on it because if you help me build this empire and, whatever the case is, I think you break that bond when I bust you fucking somebody else. I don't think I owe you a goddamn dime if we've built something together and then you threw it all away. You want to throw it away? I don't owe you shit. I'm not with that. If we mutually decided we're arguing too much, we don't get along, we get a divorce, okay, cool. At least we have that mutual understanding that this didn't work out. But if you go and fuck somebody else, man, I don't want to be paying you. Fuck that shit.
Yeah. What if the guy cheats?
We said what?
So what if the guy cheats?
What do you mean?
Like if the guy with all the bread ends up cheating, should he have to?
Absolutely. You need to pay your wife out. You broke that bond. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, you absolutely need to pay out. If you couldn't keep your dick in your pants, then you broke that relationship up.
Yeah.
So you should get that money up.
My bad.
No, you good. I wonder if all that metal on the keys is making that noise.
That's what I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Like if there's any,
because it's right next to that interface. Maybe the interface is what's causing it too. Maybe the metal. Because there's a magnet on that interface. So it's possible.
Sometimes it just be a little interference.
That shit starts sounding like fucking 90s internet for a second. Like, you could always know, you could always hear when you got a call and when you had the internet hooked up back in the day. Because it would go dee 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 dee, and then it would go
yeah. We came a long way, dog. Yeah, thank God for Wi-Fi. Yeah, that changed the game for sure.
Yeah, but Spectrum, man, fuck them, man. Straight up, you can run my fade. But yeah, man.
Spectrum too expensive too.
Yeah, they did. They tripping. Spectrum, I don't know. Too many outages too for all that money I pay. Yeah, man. Ultimately, I feel like a prenup or a plan, it's no different than having an evacuation plan, right? If I think if you got a family, you should have a family evacuation plan. Hey, if all the phones ain't working and all the electric is out, this is the parking lot we all gonna meet at.
Right.
I don't think most people have that plan. I think that needs something we all need to talk about because
that's real.
But what's happening now in the world with possible cyber attacks, we need to know whatever goes on. If all the lights go off and all the phones go off and we can't talk on the phone, we all need to get in our car and drive to the same motherfucking spot. Because the worst thing is for everybody to be broken up. I think everybody naturally will go to the house. Everybody want to go meet to the house. But here's the problem with that. If everybody go meet to the house and houses is getting robbed, you know what I'm saying? Because there's opportunists. I'm jumping way off topic. But there's opportunists. So whenever something is happening, it could be like the end of the world. Jesus Christ could come back, everything. They'd be like, I know Jesus Christ is here, but I'm trying to get this TV.
Yeah.
Somebody gonna try to come up and he's like, I'm trying to steal that car. Like people are opportunists. They don't care what's going on.
Yep. They was doing that in the fires in LA.
Yeah. It was people dressing up as firemen, fake firemen, to go in people's houses and steal.
Yeah. Speaking of the fire, I haven't heard any updates. Like, is it been contained or what's the deal? Do you know?
Well, it's a part of, how it is. The 24-hour news cycle always shifts after a while. They try to control the narrative of what's important or what's not. I just think it's important that if you don't feel like moving on from a story, then you stay engaged and you keep checking for updates.
For sure.
Because it's real. It goes
Don't rely on Twitter or X for your news.
Or CNN or Fox.
Yeah, they're going to play to the most trending thing, and something you may actually care about is actually not talked about because it just is what it is.
And it could be something that's not even like pertinent to people's needs. It could be like, this many fires in a Palisade. It looks like Kim Kardashian has a new boyfriend. It's like, nigga, that's not news.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to hear that bullshit, man. That's not fucking news, bro.
Yeah. But no, I was looking because I was like, dang, what's going on? And I looked on there and I just did a quick Google search for, the fires out there. But I didn't see anything in the first couple articles that said anything of value about, like, is it still contained or is it contained or is it still
It's contained, but everything's burnt the fuck up. People lost their property and they still don't have a home. There are people out there that are still struggling. There are people out there that are the hotels. Everybody is, not really helping them out. There are people,
schools and stuff too.
Yeah, there's people that's living in gymnasiums still right now. They're fucked.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is the worst story I've seen. I felt so fucking horrible. There was a woman and her husband that their house got burnt down in the Palisades fire, and they moved somewhere back south, and then another wildfire burnt their house down.
In the South?
Yep.
Damn.
And they said it's not even a place that normally has like vegetation that sets on fire, but it caught on fire and burnt that house down.
God dang, dog.
Oh my God, I felt so horrible for them. My God.
Yeah.
What are the odds of that?
Yeah.
That's like getting struck by lightning twice, man.
Yeah, it's hard to be optimistic about life when you got two like natural disasters in that way that go down.
Can you imagine getting struck by lightning 2 times, dude?
Yeah, it's been a couple people that has happened to.
Not twice.
Yeah, I know. Not like it ain't not 1 in 5 people, but I know that there's like been situations like that. I know one of the guys that goes to my church, he got struck by lightning.
What?
Yeah, I think he used to work for like PG&E or something. He got struck by lightning.
What?
Yeah, I think he got a decent payout too. Yeah.
Who paid him back? God?
Yeah. God paid him with his life, and PGE paid him with some real increments.
This nigga got a check from God. That's crazy. He's like, who gave you that chick? God did. Man, that's fucked up. You get paid for getting struck by lightning, dude?
I think it's just like, what do you call it? Like workers' comp or something. I don't know what the situation was with some sort of insurance. Like if you get hurt at work or whatever, that's kind of like their responsibility, I guess. But yeah.
I wonder what a person looks like when they get struck by lightning.
Man, he real dark skinned too, so I think he probably was light skinned before he got struck by lightning.
That nigga look like a smoked rib. Hold on.
Because in the cartoon, like in the little
struck by lightning victims.
Like in the little cartoons and like what do you call it? Like Home Alone and those type of movies, like their hair be all standing up and stuff like that. I don't imagine it look like that.
Oh shit! This is man. This guy got fucked up. It hit his arm and it turned into like a
blue.
No, it turned into like a tattoo.
Damn, that's kind of fire actually.
Yeah, literally. But this black dude, he got fucked up bad, dude. This black dude, like, he got whipped, bro. Look at this. Hold on. This one look crazy.
God dang.
Yeah.
That looked like a slave
That's
picture.
what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
He got fucked up. There's another dude. Ooh, they got him bad. Ooh.
Man, that's crazy.
You lived through a lightning strike? I wonder if you get superpowers. I'm Lightning Man.
God dang, that's crazy. Yeah, the white people, it looked like it's weird because it just looks like the lightning, like the bolt just kind of travels through them.
Yeah, I know. It left like a scar. I don't know if it's like a lifelong. I think it is.
Yeah.
It says incredible story of a man who survived being struck by lightning. But there's other survivors. The dude got struck by lightning and it went through his hat.
God dang.
Oh my God.
Man.
You know what's fucked up? You know how many times I've been at work and you got to understand, I'm driving a tanker, so a tanker is metal. It's just like one big conductor. Because I guess it's attracted to conductors, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know how that works. I think it's more so like the path. I don't know if it's really the electricity. I think it's like the height of.
Is metal a conductor for lightning? Yes. See, I know what I'm talking about. I paid attention in class.
Yeah, but it's not. What you're saying is it's like more attracted to it. I think it's not necessarily I think it's attracted to. It's just following like a path of like least resistance kind of thing.
Okay, got you. It says, yes, metal is a conductor for lightning, meaning that if lightning strikes a metal object, it will readily conduct the electrical current through the metal due to its high conductivity, allowing the electricity to flow easily through it and into the ground. Key points to remember, metal doesn't attract lightning, so that's the point you're making.
Yeah.
While metal is a good conductor, it doesn't actively attract lightning strikes. Instead, it provides a path for the lightning to follow if it does strike nearby. Lightning rods utilize this property. Lightning rods are made of metal and are designed to attract lightning strikes to a designated point, then safely channel the electricity down a grounding wire into the earth. So I think who was it that it was Nikola Tesla. Like like he had this like conductor type, you know what I'm talking about? Where it was using like almost like lightning electricity or something. And it was like, I had to do a sound, like almost like the people listening. That'll help them understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know why I go down these wormholes. Nikola Tesla lightning rod. What does it say? Nikola Tesla improved the lightning rod design with a collection point and large base, making it safer than the original. Tesla's lightning rod patent, patent number is 1,266. No, it's 1,266,000. Features a metal terminal with lower opening that connects to grounded conductor. So he was doing this shit way back in the day.
Dang.
Shout out to Nikola Tesla. Dang, and it's big too. It's like a big ass lightning strike.
Yeah. He's
sitting there reading a book. It's like the most popular picture.
Oh, I seen that.
You seen it?
Oh, this is a real picture?
That's a real picture. That's the same one that Homeboy used on his album cover.
Who?
Damn it. What's his name? The Muslim rapper, the one that had the album with Jay-Z. Damn it.
A Muslim rapper with Jay-Z?
He from New Orleans.
Oh, DJ Khaled?
No, nigga, not DJ Khaled.
Who?
It's the black dude that went to jail for a little bit. Damn it. He from New Orleans. It'll come to me. They had an album together. It was almost like a joint album, Jay-Z. It came out probably 5 years ago.
Oh, he's talking about
I'm pissed off that I'm not getting.
What's his name? Exhibit. He had that song like Exhibit C or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me see. Because it's got it on the front. Oh, nah. Well, anyways, we got to move on. Damn it.
I'm going to get it. Hold on.
This pisses me off that I can't get it. J Electronica.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
J
It makes
Electronica.
sense. It's Electronica.
God damn, it just popped up in my head. All right, there's that. Enough lessons for the day.
Black and
I don't think people want to learn, Keith. We got to get back into topics. People don't want to learn, man. It's like these niggas is trying to be smart. I want to talk about brainless content.
that's crazy.
Do you see it?
Because one of them looks like a painting, like a little drawing of it, but
okay.
then this one looks like a real photo.
Yeah.
Great homeschool decor. Yeah. So I'm curious to know if that's a real thing or not. But yeah, shout out to Tesla.
Is it on his album cover? You see it?
No, I didn't. I'm looking at the real. I ain't worried about no rap album.
Oh.
I'm looking at the real photo.
Yeah, Exhibit C. That's what I'm saying. It's the same picture.
Oh, Exhibit C is the one?
This is the one that J Electronica had on there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Keep just being validating me, man. Dang. It's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and move on. Shout out to Journey. Good luck. She's actually very hot, too. So if I make enough money, I'll probably make her my wife or something like that. All right. Journey, fine, bro. We the same age. She's actually, she's 1 year behind. She's 86.
Oh, okay.
So she's 30. She's 39. Mm-hmm. She looks very good for her age too. Mm-hmm. So she's not gonna have a problem. I think now what she has to do, unfortunately, she got to date somebody in her tax bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got to date a guy that's got a little money, not to use him for his money, but to ensure that he won't come after her this time.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea for her to sell drugs or something, make some of that money back.
Yeah, she'll be all right. She's a really good actor.
Absolutely, she is. All right, switching gears. I think we could talk about these two last topics together. All right. Here's one. One of these stories is about switching gears. One of these stories is about a flight attendant, and the other one is about a NYPD officer. All right, and the story about the flight attendant is this. All right, let me read this quick little article. And this is like a this is the cautionary tale for everybody listening here. If you do some form of a professional job or a job in corporate in some capacity, to make sure you watch what you do outside of that job because it can affect your employment. All right. Flight attendant allegedly fired for filming dance TikTok in uniform. What's wrong with a little twerk before work? Ex-Alaska Airlines employee Nella Diala has raised more than $2,600 on a fundraiser she created to make ends meet following her alleged November firing. And she's cute too. I never thought a single moment would cost me everything. This is now former Alaska.
That's the point. You didn't think about it.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with shaking your ass. All right? This is how former Alaska Airlines employee Nell Diala began the GoFundMe. God damn it, these pop-ups. The GoFundMe fundraiser she created after allegedly being fired for posting a dance while on the job. On November 17th, the then flight attendant posted a TikTok which she danced and, in her own words, twerked in the aisles of an empty airplane. She said, "Ghetto bid till I die." That's what she wrote. "Ghetto bid till I die. Don't let the uniform fool you," she captioned in the video.
That's weird.
Yeah, Diala filmed the lighthearted 15-second clip over 6 months into her dream job with the airline during a layover. She explained on GoFundMe, "One day during a layover, I posted a lighthearted video on my personal social media. It was a harmless clip that was recorded at 6 a.m. while waiting 2 hours for pilots." She then wrote in part, "The video went viral overnight, but instead of love and support, it brought unexpected scrutiny. Although it was a poor decision on my behalf, I didn't think it would cost me my dream job." Okay, well, first of all, let's be very clear here. You have to understand, it's a liability thing. And if you're working for an airline, that's a professional job. That's like if you was on the internet and you was in a G-string with a Walmart vest shaking your ass, Walmart's going to fucking fire you. Walmart does not want to be associated with like lewd behavior. However, even though Walmart is a job that fucking exploits people, right? Mm-hmm. And a lot of their products come from exploitation, they get away with that, but they don't want you, the employee, doing things that reflects poorly on their bottom line.
It says one of the what do you call it? The comments on, not the comments, but the the little captions on the picture, it says, Diala had performed the dance to celebrate the end of her new hire probationary period and got fired right after that.
That's so dumb.
Yeah.
That was dumb. And here's the thing. I think this is where the internet and reality clash. Because on the internet, shaking your ass and twerking on the internet is always going to be socially acceptable. It's always going to be socially acceptable on the internet. But I think people have become so disillusioned by the internet that they bring these behaviors or narratives into the real world, and it doesn't work.
Exactly.
Like if you go to the bank and you just start shaking your ass, you're like, what the fuck are you doing here? Do you need to write a check, or what are you doing? You can't be in here just shaking ass. This is the place of business.
Right.
You can't go into a library where it's quiet and be like, hey, we outside, hey. Like, this is a library. You got to get the fuck out of here. Maybe on the internet, this seems like it's normal, but it's not normal. It's not normal. You know how people, when they go to bars, right? You ever seen people go to bars and they start drinking a lot? And for some reason, they be like, woo, woo. Like, I don't know why they do it. But I guess it intensifies the inebriation, I guess.
Yeah, it's a little drunker.
Take another shot, baby. Woo! Right? But you can't just go into church doing that. Like, not even drinking. Just making those sound effects, it doesn't align with the event, is what I'm basically saying.
Yeah, 100%.
So why the fuck would you go to work shaking your ass and put and here's the thing. If you go to work and you're twerking at work and you take the video, send it to a group chat.
Don't post it on TikTok.
Don't post it on TikTok.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I kind of want to read some of it because she had went on Inside Edition and kind of spoke her side of the story. So I want to read a little bit of what she was saying. She said, I was really proud of myself that I came so far, Diala recalled. Her joy was short-lived as Alaska Airlines ended her employment just 6 months into her contract, leaving her devastated. She said, I put on a proud face every time I stepped on the plane, and for them to terminate me without giving me a chance, it was just unfair. Limited to Diala in the Inside Edition clip, adding that Alaska informed her she broke their social media policy. And then she says, however, the former Air staffer says she didn't think my video and my post and the way I was dancing would be deemed as inappropriate. In another post, according to the Daily Mail, Diala claimed that Alaska did discriminate against her because her dance was geared toward the urban community. So, of course, the company would like to embrace all cultures, but leave the minority girl from the ghetto out, she declared. Dog, don't try to bring, like, that's the thing, like, twerking is not like,
yeah, don't do that.
It's not inherently ghetto.
No.
That's just like some weird dance that girls be doing for whatever reason. Like, that's like girls that get a job and be twerking. Like, why are you twerking because you got hired at a job? Like, I just don't understand. But no, she's I think she's trying to save face. I think she made a stupid decision, and obviously, being a flight attendant is a decent job.
Yes,
you get to travel, you get to stay different places, and I don't know how taxing the job is, but it seems like pretty chill. It seems like a job that probably gets a lot of applications for these jobs. But don't try. Like, I don't like this idea. I don't know what ethnicity she is,
she
but
looks like she's like Latina.
Something, but don't try to bring like the ghetto whatever into it, because you're bringing race, culture, and ethnicity into something that is black and white.
Yeah, that's just dumb. Yeah, another thing too is this. Let's flip it, right? I don't want people to think we're sexist and we're just talking about women. Let's put a guy in that same position, but instead of twerking, he just posts a picture of him with 2 middle fingers up. Nigga, you should still be fired for that.
Yeah.
Why are you standing on the plane with both middle fingers up while you're working a professional job? That's just dumb.
Yeah, or like there's not too many flight attendant males, but if there was a guy like waiting for the people to come and he on the thing like Terry Crews pop locking with his shirt off and his abs showing. That's stupid. Yeah, it's same thing.
That's dumb. You're at work. What you got to understand, what everyone needs to understand, the takeaway from this is when you are at work, you are at work. You are not on your own personal time. That doesn't mean you need to be a slave to the job. It just means chill the fuck out. Mm-hmm. You can still be relaxed and chilling at work, but understand you are at work. Yeah. I've had to remind some people before back in the day when I was in Sirius, they'd be like, yeah, motherfucker, we done that. I was like, hey, we're at work. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're still at work. Like, oh, Eddie, man, you always too serious, man. I'm like, we're at work.
Yeah, I be having like some of my coworkers, they be like, and they don't. So I work at a school, but and I don't generally just cuss in life. But there be people like, we're not supposed to cuss in front of the kids by any means, but there'd be people like, the kid would be like, a teacher would like come talk to me or whatever. Students be like right here, and they'd be like, yeah, man, I F this, F that. And I'm like, dang, dog, like that's how you giving it up? Like, students is just right here.
That's a lack of discipline.
But I just think like there is a certain way in whatever situation, you just got to know the ins and outs of what is appropriate and what is allowed in your job. And I think for me, I'm not going to be doing nothing that can put my job in jeopardy just because I want to like trying to be cool or like, I don't know, like celebrating. I'm not celebrating no probationary period by twerking. That's just like stupid to me. Yeah. Celebrate by going out and getting some dinner. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like going out with your friends, having some drinks or something like that.
Absolutely. I will say this too. This is how you have to. There can't be certain areas of you that have to grow up. Like everything has to grow up. Because if, let's say, for example, that's your dream job. I think you had to do a lot of work to get that job. Like you had to pass certain tests. You had to have a certain level of focus to get that job. Mm-hmm. But when you get a position, it doesn't mean the work stops, right? It's just like if you get married, right? Everything it took for you to get that woman's attention and whatever, you can't just stop that all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. You still have to be on the straight and narrow to make sure you maintain that marriage or that job or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Even if you're working out, if you work hard to get the body that you've always wanted, why would you start eating bags of Cheetos and just completely unravel all that hard work? That's basically what she did. She sabotaged her own opportunity because she wanted to shake ass and then put it on TikTok. These young people, I don't know. These young people, it's like they live in a virtual reality or something.
For sure, yeah. One thing that I was thinking about earlier was like to act like you've been there before. You know Absolutely. What I mean? Like I think there was like a way in your probationary period and you're just happy, excited, like, yo, I'm locked in. I got a career that I could, retire doing. I could do this for the rest of my life. And I can be excited to show up to work every day. But just act like you've been there. I'm sure you heard that as an athlete, act like you've been there before. Don't be trying to, scream in people's faces because y'all winning the game or something like that.
Yeah, don't do that.
I
remember my coach back in the day was like, whenever teams, we'd be whooping the team's ass so they get mad, like, man, fuck you, you ain't shit, this and that. He said, whenever somebody do that, just point at the scoreboard. Mm-hmm. Just point at the scoreboard, like, hey man, look at the score, bro.
Y'all got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, y'all need to get better for the other team next week because we finna finish whooping your ass. Stop talking shit to me. Look at that scoreboard, bro. It's 42 to 3, man. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, cut it out.
Yep.
But there's that, and then also here's a story that's kind of just like it, except it's a little bit different. NYPD officers seen in a music video twerking, and this chick, man, for her to be a cop, she got a bad day.
Yeah.
All right, but Melissa Machado, who joined the New York Police Department in 2018, can be seen gyrating and shaking her body in a raunchy music video. NYPD detective has found herself embroiled in controversy after a video of her twerking on a pole dancing went viral on social media. Melissa Machado, a veteran with the 7 years of experience, featured in a video published by World Hip Hop where she could be seen gyrating and shaking her body while wearing a thong and a skimpy bra. As per official records, Machado joined the force in 2018 and is currently working as a $144,000 a year grade 3 detective.
She got she got a nice salary.
Yeah, assigned to the Bronx Special Victims. So here's the problem. Wouldn't you think that a detective who is literally like a detective is a person that's very like intentional or very like meticulous about certain things? Don't you think it's not a good idea to have your ass out? Mm-mm. And this ain't no regular booty either.
Yeah.
It might be a BBL. Is it a BBL?
Yeah, it looked like it got some Brazilian qualities to it.
Brazilian influence?
Some Brazilian influence to it. Man. Yeah. She looked like she got a little bit of work done just overall. Yeah. That's crazy. She got a whole career, like a really good career.
Yeah, really good job. You're squandering an opportunity just to do this, and it's like, bro, why?
Yeah, but from what I've heard, I heard there's not really any backlash like outside of social media. I don't think she's going to get fired or anything for this. But the real difference is she's not in her uniform on camera doing this. She's just doing this, outside.
And it's not even a good rap song.
Yeah, the song is not great. Yeah. That's what they were saying. I was listening to Joe Budden podcast. They were talking about it. It was kind of like one of those situations where the rapper was probably hitting it, and he was like, "Hey, you want to be in this music video?" And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I've always wanted to be in a music video." And he probably smacking her down, and decided to throw her in a rap song.
That's so whack.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe. Maybe he probably figured he was such a bad artist that it wouldn't get out.
I just think she liked him. That's just something you do if you just like somebody.
Yeah, but I think, I'm going to tell you something, though. And look, I'm not trying to blame this guy, but let me be clear. Let's say I'm dating a woman that happens to be in Bakersfield Police Department, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm dating her, and I don't know. I feel like it would be my job to protect her,
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be to be having her in any position that would make her look unprofessional at her job.
Right.
Like I wouldn't want her. She's like, I will go on your podcast and talk about that. I'm like, nah, I can't have you on the podcast.
Yeah.
Just simply because there are some things that I may say on here that may not be the greatest at times, and I don't want her affiliated with that.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever that rapper was, he was not thinking about her job. I think she should have did that.
Yeah, she should. She
should have, but I still think
he didn't force her to do that.
He didn't force her to do that. I'm just saying though, like if you is dealing with a woman and she got a professional job, it would be decent to protect her from that. Like instead of having her in a video just looking like a typical video chick.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in any position where your social media presence has an effect on like how people view you in your job. Like if you like a principal of a school and you got like a freaking sex tape like floating around, like stuff like that, it's just, I think it's definitely the person's responsibility that has the certain job, the principal or whatever the case may be. But like you said, if you're a decent person and you are, and you actually care about this person, you should probably be like, hey, man, I don't think this is the best look for you. Like, you work for New York Police Department. You probably want to,
this is wrong.
Keep it off the internet.
She twerking big time. She's shaking that motherfucker. It just looks, it's too raunchy. I can see.
It's OD. She ain't wearing no clothes, nothing.
Hold on.
Legs long, ass thick. Just wanna smash it quick. Hit the dash and split. Cash at me quick.
This sounds like
terrible.
Like early 2000s.
Yeah.
It sounds very dated.
I think that's her guy. That guy's he definitely got to be. There's no reason for her to be in that video besides him hitting it.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's just terrible. Yeah. Oh man, ladies, I don't want to tell women what to do, but I was like, man, don't waste your time on a local rapper that want to make a video like this. Don't do it.
Women could definitely be
overly supportive sometimes.
Yeah, they can be influenced by the dick, I would say.
That's bad.
Yeah, like because there's a lot of like I know people locally. Like there's a lot of rappers that just aren't that great, and then they just get supported by like it'd be girls like that in music videos or whatever. Pro bono, just because they supporting the guy, and they probably getting smacked down by him. So
that's terrible, man.
Yeah, it's not a good look.
Yeah, I think that's women's problem though. Like they be supporting it, like they heart be in the right place, but they just be doing it for the wrong niggas, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like don't do this. Just don't do this.
Right. Yeah. There's the interesting thing about it is, as a police officer, a lot of times, I think all the time, they don't really be having like social media and stuff like that.
No.
So for you to not have no social media, but you got, you got your cheeks out.
I think they could have social media, but it's got to be like very calculated. Yeah, because I got a couple guys that I know that are cops.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, they follow me.
That's
They gotta. I think what it is when you got a history with people and they know you, then y'all could be, and they have an idea of what you about. Then you can still have the same friends. Because I got a coach or a old coach back in the day. He's the Bakersfield Police Department. I know a couple other guys that are they're Fresno PD, and we all still cool on there. But I think that they changed their friends list up. You know what I mean?
And I'm sure that stuff is pretty straightforward.
It's pretty
clean,
straightforward.
probably family stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the thing about it too is they ain't the only ones looking to see. I know it's probably been some police or somebody that knows of me. Like if I'm dating, let's say I start dating a chick and she's a police officer, I guarantee you she's gonna run my name.
They're going to do their due diligence because they don't want to be in no nonsense.
Yeah, they're going to run my name. They're going to know everything about me. And I think sometimes, imagine this, I'm on a date with this chick. She's a cop, and we're talking. I got her laughing. She's like, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I know. I already know you used to live in Delano. You'd be like, how the fuck did you know that?
Yeah. Yep.
She's like, oh, didn't you tell me that? I'm like, no, I didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, I could have swore you said something about, yeah, you did. You said something about Delano. I'm like, nah. You've been looking up my license, ain't you? You've been looking up my license.
Running your name.
You've been running my name, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's just skip all this and go back to my house.
Oh, dang.
You got all the information on me now.
Yeah. You already know I'm solid.
You just skip the next step, man.
Yeah.
Just go on back home, man. I'm just kidding. Damn, that's crazy, man. I feel bad for female police officers, bro. I wonder how dating is for them.
Yeah, it would have to be tough. Yeah, because it's a different world.
Because within the department, if she's an officer that has like integrity and she doesn't want to like have her personal life done in the job, then she's not gonna be fucking with other cops. You know what I'm saying? If anybody, it would probably be a dude like me that would end up messing with a chick that's a cop.
The only thing is like, where do you meet them?
Out and about. If a chick, I'm gonna tell you something. I already told myself this. If a chick pulls me over, if a female police officer pulls me over and we got a good vibe going, I'm going to give her my card. I'll be like, hey, I don't want to be unprofessional, but here's my card. Maybe we can have a conversation outside that badge.
That's real.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah. And she'll probably, I'll be like, you just turn your body camera off real quick. We can have a real conversation.
Turn the body camera off. That's crazy.
Yeah, turn your body camera off and let me turn your body on.
Oh, it's comedy. This nigga got game.
That'll be some OG like that. Once I turned 40, man, that OG, that slick OG tongue came into play, man.
Yeah. Oh man, happy birthday to you, man. Shout out to Eddie, man. He just turned 40 yesterday.
Turned 40, man. Yeah, man. That elder millennial status.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm gonna use that shit if I get pulled over by like a hot female officer. I'll be like, turn that body camera off and let me rub some lotion on that body.
It's some out there for sure. That's like
I've seen some out here in BPD. I've seen some out here like doing like a traffic stop. I'm like, dude, who is that? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm like,
for
man.
Sure. And with those situations too, if some of them are already in relationships, so that's just kind of like what it is. But some of them, may still be searching or single or whatever the case may be.
Or not from here. A lot of them be like from either up north because they usually don't want to be in patrol where they live. So oftentimes,
especially if you're from a smaller town,
it'd be some from back east that move all the way to Bakersfield to be a BPD. They'd be from like Nebraska.
Yeah, because it's like even like being a teacher. Like I'm sure when you was in school, you might have had like most of your teachers are probably from Bakersfield, but you might have had one from LA or from like the Midwest or something like that moved here just to teach or something like that. Because the job, you see the jobs online and they're like, oh, let me just scroll through all the different positions I may apply to LAPD, Fresno PD, San Jose, LA, whatever, and then whoever gives me the interview, then I'm gonna just go move over there. So people definitely be moving for careers and stuff like that.
Absolutely,
because Bakersfield is small enough to where there's like 6 degrees of separation pretty much
Absolutely.
anywhere. So if somebody's around your age, you probably have ran across them playing sports or you know, being in high school in some capacity.
Yeah.
So,
I wouldn't want to patrol here, man, because they'll be trying to get over like, oh, Eddie, man, are you Eddie for the podcast, right? Yeah. You a cop now? That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
I got a couple bricks of cocaine, but like, just I'm gonna put them out here. You didn't see nothing. I'm be like, nah, nigga, you going to jail. You going to jail, man. I thought you was cool, man. I thought you was nice.
Right. It's Eddie McGee, man. It's Eddie McGee. Remember the podcast?
I'm like, hey, man, my body camera's on. Give me the dope and get in the fucking car.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think the thing about it, if a woman was a cop, I would probably be the dude she could date.
Mm-hmm.
The way I live my life, it could easily coincide with like somebody with a professional job like that.
Yeah.
I don't commit crimes. I don't ever really drink. I don't do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a truck driver. I'm usually at work. You know, I hit the weights. I keep life simple.
Mm-hmm.
But the guys that got too much going on, that's the wrong type of dude for women to date when they have a professional job.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a woman's a teacher, they can't date a dude. They can't date a guy that can't keep his dick in his pants.
Yeah.
If a dude is like a player and he got this baby mama over here and he fucking this chick here, and he fucking all these chicks all over town and lying.
Like, you don't want your guy like getting smeared on social media while you trying to teach kids how to ad and stuff like that.
Yeah, because if a dude is messy and he messing with a teacher, he probably fucking one of your students is like his baby mama or some shit.
Yeah, that could definitely be a thing. Yeah,
I think this is just some game for the ladies. I think that's something they should consider, bro. Mm-hmm. Like you really got to consider. People try to say your past doesn't matter. Like your past is a product of the decisions you've made. Mm-hmm. And like even creditors, the credit report people, they want to know they want to know your credit history, nigga, for a reason. Mm-hmm. They trying to see what kind of it's not always accurate, and you can change. I feel like change is necessary. Change is possible, but most people don't change. Mm-hmm. I think that I think that's the best way to describe it. Mm-hmm. I think that change is very real and it's very possible, but most people do not change. I think most people change maybe 15% throughout their whole lifetime. Mm-hmm. You know, but if you, this goes for dudes too. If you dating a chick and she got all kind of shit going on, I don't think it's gonna change.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, people are who they are.
I went on a date with this chick, dude, and I was like, oh, she's cool. She's decent woman. Seems okay. Nice body and stuff. Very pretty. But then she started telling me stories, and I was like, yeah, she ain't never gonna see me again. She's like, yeah, my baby dad,
Yeah, once you get into that stuff.
My baby dad, he tried to kill me, and he tried to kill the whole family. I'm like, I'm not about to die over this.
Yeah, you don't want to get caught up with no crazy baby daddy situation. And like you gotta be mindful too, like if girls be dating like real hood niggas,
no.
Gangbangers, you definitely don't want to be dealing with her.
If your baby's daddy was a blood crip or a Serrano, stay away from me. I don't want to deal with none of that. None of that. Everything is cool, and all of a sudden YG is knocking on the door. I'm like, man, look here. I don't got no Bacala big bookies, okay? Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
You get a knock on your door. Hey, what's up? My kids are in there with you, fool? I just got out, homeboy. I'm taking my family back, dog. You be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But that be a thing too. Like girls be trying to date the hood nigga because it's exciting, and then they got a couple kids by him. Then they want to like get with a regular black guy like you or me or whatever, and then it's just like, yeah. Then he like you said, he threatening you on Instagram. The nigga got like prison poses and all kind of stuff on his page. Like,
like nigga on 44th Crip. I'm taking my family back, nigga. I'm like, if you love your family, you wouldn't be in prison, man. He's like, nigga, don't you ever talk to me unless you address me as 44-5 Crip, nigga. Like, man, look here, dude.
On the dead homies, when I get out of this jail cell, nigga, it's up, nigga.
Like, you can't even pay child support, man. Get out of here. Your son doesn't like you. I take him to football practice.
Oh, dang.
You know what? I'm gonna pull a Russell Wilson on him, right?
Dang.
If you disrespect me and you like, man, fuck you, stay away from my kids, stay away from
I'm gonna just post a picture of us tossing the ball around.
I'm gonna send you a video of me throwing the ball to your son.
We're gonna be in the front yard playing catch.
Yeah, if I ever date a woman that has like a smaller kid in the future and her baby daddy is tripping, I'ma like be throwing the ball to her son, you know, going out to the park, taking him to get pizza and shit, buying him clothes and all kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna be like,
oh no, you gotta go to like the father son little, you know, they be having little spaghetti nights at school and stuff.
yeah. I'm gonna make sure he got all the noodles too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you didn't know your son liked spaghetti, did you? Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah. Dang.
That's crazy. That's Russell Wilson. When I seen that video, I think because Future says, he actually dissed Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
He just literally said like unsolicited, like fuck Russell Wilson. He's like something. No, he said, I got it out the mud. Fuck Russell.
Yeah.
Right, and then Russell Wilson was like, all right, Future, go deep.
Oh,
All right,
dang.
here it comes. All
Dang.
right, great job. Next time when you step back, make sure you're formed and you keep your shoulders squared, and then you deliver the ball and then follow through. He's like, all right, Dad, thank you. Love you, Dad.
Dang. That's tragic. Yeah.
Like, man, I don't want that nigga calling my son no more, man.
That's a
been
That's
a
a
long
W
time.
for Russ.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've been in my son's life, but you ain't never gonna call him father. Like, that's not your daddy, nigga. I don't know what you got going on over there, man, but like, ever since I made my last mixtape, it's always been some shit, man. These hoes. You see that latest thing that happened with Future where he was telling that girl, like, I don't know you. Who is this? I don't know you.
Like they were on the phone?
Yeah, they was on the phone. I guess some girl he was dating for like 5 years with or something.
Oh,
She
yeah.
broke up with him, and she was like, I know you ain't about to play me like this. I know you. He's like, who is this? Who is this? I don't know who this is.
I think after a certain point, when you like a rapper and you single and you still kind of living the rapper life, it's just not cool no more.
No.
Yeah. Like if you single and it just so happened to be like that, but if you kind of like leading your life as this player, you know, dating these Instagram models, that's not the vibe.
Okay, I gotta see. This is a video of it. He's like, I don't even know who you is. I don't know you. Yeah, it was hilarious, bro. And it's kind of pathetic though, because you are. I gotta find this so the people can hear it. This shit is hilarious. It is hilarious. Hold on. Let me see if we can do this and get out of here. Future and ex-girlfriend. Heard that.
I need an officer to pull up to submit a
What?
report against harassment, please.
She called the police on him now? There's always some bullshit storyline. Nope. Nope. I don't know where it is now. But for him to diss Russell Wilson like that is whack.
Yeah, it's lame.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then he's alluded to Sierra. He said, I fucked the R&B bitch or something like that. I'm just like, bro, come on, man.
Yeah.
Let it go. He got hella kids too, like hella baby mamas now, even more.
Yeah. That's
That's nothing. And it's some dudes that really like low key look up the Future, bro. And I'm not even trying to be like, you don't ever look up to a man like that. That dude's a bum.
not at all.
Not at all. The peddling of drugs, the constant drug abuse talk on his music, all the way to all the baby mamas he got. That shit is not cool, bro.
Yeah. It says Future has 7 confirmed kids.
Damn.
And he also has an informally adopted son and an alleged child. That's crazy.
He like, like, why you gonna act like you don't know me? I ain't acting like I don't know nobody. I don't know who this is. Like, lose this number. I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on with these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane, man.
Definitely.
Well,
yeah.
I think we've came to the end of the road.
Mm-hmm.
If you made it to this episode, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening to a Trucker's Mind podcast. Future Hendrix.
It's your boy K Fings.
And we out of here.
Peace.
Maybe,